What's going on, everybody? This is Fry. So today I'm going to be addressing a question I get a lot. What should you be crafting in Plants vs. Zombies Heroes? If you have all these extra sparks, which you get from recycling your extra cards, you can then craft whatever you want. What is the most worth it things to craft? And I'm going to be going in order, starting with the first one you should craft, and then going on from there. And the first card that, in my opinion, you should be crafting in this game is this one right over here. It is the Haunted Pumpkin. The reason why this is such a great card to craft is because it comprises one of the best decks in the game, which is the aggro solar decks, particularly with aggro solar flare. This is so important on turn 1 because you can put this just in an empty lane and try to hit your opponent's face. For a 1-drop, doing 4 damage is just ridiculous, and this is really the only expensive card you need in the budget version of, let's say, aggro solar flare. It is also an important piece of the more expensive version of solar flare aggro. It is also really important in the Wall Knight and the Rose decks that can do a similar thing. Definitely a great card to craft. You really don't even need Blooming Heart as much as you need this one. This is just such a powerful card. Alright, let's move right along. Card number 2 you should craft is gonna be this one over here. It's gonna be a zombie card this time. It's gonna be another event card. The reason why I'm picking a couple of event cards first is because they only cost 1,000 sparks to craft, as opposed to the next 3 cards on this list are going to be legendaries, which cost 4,000 a pop. So much better to craft, let's say, 4 copies of one of these than one legendary. Next card is, of course, Going Viral. This is probably the best card of the whole Hardy class. It's really important to be adding this into a deck. It's basically auto-include in all of your Hardy decks, because as you're sort of building up your big minions, you need to actually win the game, which involves hitting your opponent's face and buffing up all of your minions and giving them frenzy. And it doesn't really cost you a card because you'll draw another card. It's definitely worth it, particularly in a deck that I suggest for beginner players, which is the Smash Sports deck. You can see a version over here, which is the budget version that does not have Going Virals. Going Virals is the very first card you should be adding in to this deck in order to make that your sports cards, which again are buffed slowly but surely together by the team mascot, will be able to go face and destroy your opponent's super great card. Number 3 on the list, and we're going to be doing some legendaries now. In my opinion, the next card you should craft is this card over here. Very long time favorite of me, just throughout every single season and set. It is Pine Clone, and just having even 1 or 2 of these can add a lot of value to sets. So the trick with playing Pine Clone is to make sure that you have a lot of little minions on the field, like mushrooms, or maybe if you're solar flare, like flowers, and turn them all into 3/3s. It'll give you so much value, and you all know, if you've been watching my videos for a while, how difficult it is to deal with such a huge board that's full of Pine Clones. Just make sure you don't get weed sprayed or field cleared otherwise in the meantime. Pine Clone works very well with cards like this card over here, the Puff Shroom. This costs 0 and is a 1/1. Seems like a pretty useless card, but this can turn into like a free Pine Clone, a free 0 cost 3/3. Amazing. Also, of course, it is extremely good with Shroom for 2, because then this will make 2 Pine Clones. The next card I believe you should craft, this will be number 4 on the list. Extremely powerful card, maybe the most intrinsically powerful card in the entire game, and that, of course, is going to the Solar class. This one right over here, Briar Rose. Briar Rose has so much value for its cost. I even hope this card gets nerfed and costs 5. That's how good this is. When a zombie hurts a flower, destroy that zombie. You should definitely be combining this with little flowers, particularly the environments like Solar Winds, which is a pretty good card to craft. Maybe we can give this one an honorable mention. It also works very well for your Wall Knight to use it with Poppin' Poppies. That puts a lot of little flowers in the field, or just sunflowers or primal sunflowers. There's really a lot of flowers, and this can really, Briar Rose combined with a few flowers can just ruin decks. It can really stunt a lot of the zombie decks and make sure that their really important cards will be taken off the field. Extremely high value for a 4-cost card. And number 5, of course, and it's just so hard to even put this card at number 5 just because of how ridiculously overpowered it is of course going to the crazy class, this one right over here, the Valkyrie. Now the reason why I'm putting this all the way at number 5 is because Valkyries really shine, particularly in one deck, which is the Professor Brainstorm OTK Valk deck, which basically is a deck where you try to hold your Valkyries in your hand, put a lot of little minions on the field, wait till they all die, and then this will end up having a ridiculous amount of attack. It grows by 2 attack every time a guy dies. And then you can either teleport this onto the field and use bonus attacks, or even better, you can use the new card that was added recently to the game in the last set. It is the Mustache Monument. This will allow your huge attack Valkyrie to do a bonus attack immediately, which will usually, if the Valk is big enough, it can sometimes have 10 or 20 attack, will be able to finish off your opponent all in one turn. The reason also Valkyrie I'm not putting earlier in this list is because you really need 4 Valkyries, or at least 3, in order to really utilize this strategy. So probably if you're a beginner player, it's a lot better to maybe make, if you're just going to be crafting kind of one legendary at a time, better make it Pine Clones or Briar Roses, but you definitely can invest in Valkyries, and eventually you'll have a few and you'll be able to make this just amazing deck with this ridiculously OP card. Alright everybody, hope you enjoyed. That was the cards you should be crafting in PvZ Heroes. If you like videos like this, leave a like, and if you want to see another video like this of a list of something you'd like to know about the game, please leave it in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Peace! This is Fry.